Hello, everybody. Hello, Ava. You spoiled girl, you. How about we go with, let's go with some bacon, egg, and cheese tonight. Ooh. We got a happy girl. We've got a happy girl. Here you go, baby. No, but I have to wait just a couple of seconds because otherwise, for some people, it cuts it off. So I always just kind of have to sit here and smile and just wait and then go. Ooh. Wolf Lord Lover, sweetie, I did not get an email from you. So I'm going to type it out because I know you said you thought you sent me one. So it's nightshiftwithapril@gmail.com. So if you still want to send me an email, that's what it is. My goodness. Lots of talky talk. Hello, Auntie Em. Hello, Jerry Matthew Boyd. Hello, Manuel. Thank you. Hello, Nana Laura, honey. Hello, C-Rex. Hello, Ixamo1. Oh, hello, Wire Mother. Hello, Eileenie Carlin, honey. Hello, Linda Applegate. If you all didn't see, there is a kitty here. She's just blending in. She's camouflage. Hello, Salty Buddha. Good morning. Hello, Buzzy Pug. Hello, Nigel1701. Good to see you. Hello, Mortimer Duke. Hello, Charlie. Hello, Chris Van Allen. Those are the best. All right. I bet. I remember those days. Now the closest thing that I have to a 3-year-old is Billy. He's about as big as one, too. Thank you, sweetie. I will check it out. No, I'm not creepy like that. Well, I went to the archive drive and I found a video of Judge Sylvester before he grew his hair out. Yeah. Judge Sylvester has like Judge Middleton hair now. This is from 2023. So it's a couple years old. And then I decided to find Judge King. And there's a girl with a black eye in there. Huh. I kind of wish we had the body cam. I decided to bring the mighty Methany inside. So she's now in the background. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. No, he leaves it down and long and straight like I have mine. Very much so. He handcuffed a girl that was being unruly during a school outing, and it just so happened that the girl ended up being, I think it was 13, and homeless, and sparked mass social outrage. How dare you do that to a homeless girl? She was being a brat. That's how. Hello, Spider-Man. Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of on Judge King's side, you know. It was a scared straight moment, or should have been. And instead it turned into teach them entitlement. Because, everybody's a victim. Yeah. Yeah. Judge Middleton even got in trouble once. He turned off a live stream at the heat of something that would have been a viral moment. And he got in trouble for it. His hair up in the curlers. Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I wasn't meaning that it was. I honestly don't even know anything about what the girl looked like. I've not seen the video of it or anything like that. All I know is that she was 13 and it happened. Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Not by choice. Hey, maybe that's what Attorney Feaster was doing when he was shopping for jeans online. Maybe he wasn't really looking for jeans, if you know what I mean. He totally could. He could. Yeah, it's sad that the entitlement runs so strong with the youth now. It Anybody, I don't know, 40 and under. No. Feels that way. It feels that way. Right. That's the society that we're living in now. Yeah. Sparked massive social outrage. They can be a brat, they can talk back to authority and blah, 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 blah. I don't care that she was homeless. It doesn't matter. She was being taught a lesson, one that she should have taken heed to. Well, I don't think Feaster's in that book. I might be wrong. I know. I love his name. I know. I had to make sure it was outside of my age range. Doesn't she, though? She's absolutely gorgeous. Ooh, ouch. I know that the judge, she has blonde hair, she's in Texas. Her name is not pronounced as it's phonetically spelled. But I believe it starts with an A. She, oh man, I really like her. I ran the marriage announcement when she was getting married. Anyways, she got suspended not too long ago, actually. Yeah, Raquel. No, no, not Raquel West. No, no, no. This is an older lady. Older meaning like, I don't know, late 50s. Not West. Um, hold on. It's in my shorts. It's in my shorts. That sounds awful. That really, that sounds awful. She had a viral clip on Law Talk with Mike for the longest. I don't know if he still plays it. I'm looking. It shouldn't be too long. Da, 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 da. I can't see the screen at the moment. Okay, maybe I'm gonna give up on this. I'm gonna do one more page. Okay, I can't find it. Dang it. And I tried. I tried, guys. I can't remember what her viral clip was, though. I wonder if I search, no. Married? No. Engaged? No. Okay, I guess I give up. I give up. I'll have to find it another time. I just, you know, I hate giving up. Not fair, not fair, not fair. I probably already passed it like a dozen times ago. Oh, no. No. Okay, I give up. Closing it. No, because everybody hates that. Everybody I'm sure hates watching me just stare at the screen and older than me. I'm 43 now. I'm getting close to that number. It's gonna pop into my head at like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna be just about falling asleep. And it'll just pop in my head and I'll scream it out loud. Yeah, see? Auntie M knows. She knows exactly what I'm talking about. You got that going for you. she's she's Mexican. Her name is Mexican. Or Latino of some sort. She speaks fluent Spanish. It's gonna drive me crazy. Dude, my leg has started doing the where it bounces. They say that that's a sign that you're not getting good sleep. It just started doing it over this past week. My mom's used to do it all the time. It drives me crazy. Yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I want to say the 201st district. No, not Gonzales. No. Rangel. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All I could remember was that it was pronounced differently than it was spelled. You are an angel. You saved me from my 3 a.m. self. No, it's not restless leg syndrome. It's just you bounce your leg. It's the weirdest thing. And it's involuntary. But like restless leg syndrome happens like typically, if I remember, it's when you sleep and I don't know. All I know is it just started doing it and I don't like it. And I have to like physically stop myself. Because otherwise, like, I'll just be sitting here and like tapping my foot, but not tapping it. It's just at the top of your foot, like the top half of your foot stays on the floor and your heel bounces. And it, like, rapidly. It's crazy. And it's only one leg. My left leg doesn't care. My left leg wants to sit still and not bother anybody and just mind its own business. My right leg wants to be up everybody's ass. Oh, I hate that. Oh, I hate that. Oh, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. My mom had restless leg syndrome too. It drove my dad crazy. You know, it might be. Thursday. I don't know. I don't think so. Oh, that's Thanksgiving. I'll be streaming. I don't have family or friends, so you guys are my family and friends. So I'll be streaming. My daughter will be with her father's side of the family. No. No. If that were the case, it would have started long ago. It doesn't. It really doesn't. Hello, Jimmy James. Good to see you. So yeah, I'll be streaming on Thursday. Probably just do body cams all day, unless I can hunker down and find 12 hours worth of content. You know. I'm not. I love you guys. I have way more fun hanging out with you guys than I ever would have if I were to go to some family event with my brothers. You guys are way better. I agree. I did start a little early for reasons. Tomorrow I have to meet with the mediator for the small claims suit against Hobosexual. So my plan was to jump on and roll the clips like right away and then go to bed. And then I couldn't remember Judge Rangel's name.
Good afternoon. We are here in case number 2021 TR 41, State of Kansas versus Abdelmumin Sakari. Will counsel announce appearances?
Your Honor, if it please the court, State of Kansas appears by and through Brandon T. Richa, appearing via Zoom.
And the defendant appears via Zoom by Brandon Kinney, also via Zoom.
All right. Thank you. And so we are on the docket here for a trial on Mr. Sakari's speeding citation. Is that still your understanding, Mr. Richa?
That's my understanding, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Kinney, you want to proceed to trial?
Yes, Your Honor, please.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Rich, do you have any opening statements you'd like to make?
I don't have any opening statements, but if council can clarify to me so I don't butcher it, how to pronounce his client's first name.
Abdel Munim.
Abdel Munim? Okay.
Yes.
My apologies. I just don't want to continually do that to him.
No, you're fine.
Okay, I have no opening statements and would just ask to proceed to evidence, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And you may proceed.
The state would call Troy Carroll.
All right. Would you raise your right hand? And do you swear or affirm the testimony you give this court today will be the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Mr. Rich, you may proceed.
And can everybody hear the deputy?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Can you please state your full name and where you are employed?
Troy Carroll, and I'm a sheriff's deputy with the Kingman County Sheriff's Office
How long have you been with the Kingman County Sheriff's Office?
since November of 2021.
Do you have any prior law enforcement experience?
Yes, I do.
What prior law enforcement experience do you have?
I work for the Eastboro Police Department in Eastboro, Kansas.
How long did you work there?
A little over 2 years.
In order to become a law enforcement officer, did you have any training that was required?
Yes, I did.
What type of training?
I went to the Basic Law Enforcement Training Academy of the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center.
In order to continue as a law enforcement officer, do you have any continuing education that's required of you yearly?
Yes, I do.
What type of training or how much?
We have to obtain 40 hours a year.
Are you current on those hours?
I am.
Fair to say that you're a certified law enforcement officer for the state of Kansas?
Yes, sir.
And since achieving that certification, has it ever lapsed?
No, sir.
Were you on duty on January 18, 2022?
I was.
And did you have contact with Abdulamin Shakari?
I did.
And is Mr. Shakari present either digitally or in person in the hearing today?
Yes, he is.
Can you identify him by what he's wearing or maybe give indicators of where he's located?
He's looking at the bottom right of this screen I'm looking at, and he's wearing a white t-shirt.
Your Honor, I believe he's the only individual on this Zoom hearing that's in a white t-shirt. I'd ask that the record reflect the witness has identified the defendant.
It does.
Why did you have contact with the defendant on that date?
I conducted a traffic stop.
Okay. What was the reason for the traffic stop?
For speeding.
What was the defendant driving on that date?
A large semi truck pulling a large semi truck trailer.
When did you first notice this vehicle? Or where did you first notice this vehicle?
I was driving eastbound out of the city limits of Kingman, and the semi truck and trailer were coming into the city limits of Kingman going westbound.
Okay. What road is that?
US Highway 54.
The location where you first noticed the vehicle through the stop, what county were those actions performed in?
In Kingman County.
Is that in Kingman County, Kansas?
Kingman County, Kansas, yes.
What first caught your attention of the vehicle?
The vehicle as it came into Kingman was on the number 1 or inside lane, and there were several other vehicles in the number 2 or the outside lane, and this vehicle was passing those vehicles at a high rate of speed.
What is the speed limit in that particular location?
40 miles an hour.
After having your attention drawn to the vehicle, what did you do next?
I activated my department issued dual software radar to check the vehicle speed.
Okay. What happened after you activated that radar?
Turned the radar antenna, the front antenna on, had a good tone, and locked the vehicle speed at 60 miles an hour.
Now, just for clarification, can you tell me your perspective or angle of the vehicle when you used your radar system?
I was heading westbound or eastbound in the number 1 or inside lane, and he was westbound in the inside lane. So we were coming directly at each other.
So was it possible to have any other vehicles or any other objects impeding the direction of the radar at that time?
He had already passed other vehicles on the road.
So there was nothing in between you and the vehicle?
No, sir.
Were there any weather conditions or anything of that nature that you noted that would have caused issues with your radar system?
No, sir. It was a clear and sunny day.
Upon pulling over the vehicle, did you make contact with the defendant?
I did,
And how did you identify him?
through his driver's license.
And eventually you issued him a ticket?
Yes, I did.
Few questions on your radar. What type of radar is in your vehicle?
It's a Stalker dual radar.
Okay. Did you receive any training as to how to operate that particular radar system?
I did.
Please explain how that radar system works as far as direction or locations, anything of that nature.
The Stalker dual radar has two antennas, one facing the front of the vehicle, one facing the rear of the vehicle. I have the capability of selecting either antenna, and then as well as monitoring, I can monitor the speed of vehicles that are going the same direction as me or coming towards me, both front and back.
And which radar did you use to identify the defendant?
The front antenna.
Do you have any protocol or regular things that you do to test the accuracy of this system?
The Stalker dual radar has a self-diagnostic test that I put through multiple times every day.
Okay. Are there any other testing that you can perform on that system?
There is a accuracy test using a tuning fork that you can use to determine if it's functioning properly.
Since you've had this radar system, when you've tested it, has it ever had an error or had any sort of inconsistency in it?
No, it has not.
Where did you ultimately finish your traffic stop with the defendant?
I'm sorry, what was that?
At what location did the defendant ultimately finish the traffic stop at?
We were quite a ways west from where the initial violation occurred, but I can't remember exactly what the street name was. But we had traveled quite a ways before he finally stopped.
Did you ask the defendant about that, or did he give you an explanation?
He told me it was because he couldn't see or hear my sirens or lights.
No further questions at this time.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Kenny, cross-examination?
Yes, thank you, Judge. Deputy Carroll, you mentioned that you have completed your 40 hours of training annually. Was that when you were with Eastboro, or have you done new training since you've been with the deputy's office?
I've done new training since I've been in the sheriff's office.
All right. And you mentioned that you were leaving the city limits of Kingman westbound on, eastbound
Yes, sir.
on, was it 24 highway you said?
Highway 54.
54. All right. And the defendant was approaching in a semi and he was going westbound on 54. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And both of you would have been on the interior lane, basically kind of staring each other down in the opposite direction?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, when you were, what were you doing the day of January 18th? Were you on patrol or were you going somewhere specifically?
I was just on standard patrol.
What time of day was this that the stop occurred?
I have to review my notes. I think it was early afternoon or late evening, something like that.
But the sun was still up?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you said the conditions were clear, no snow or anything like that?
No, sir. Clear and sunny.
Did you notice, you said that there were vehicles in the number 2 lane also headed westbound. Did you notice any other vehicles in the 1 lane, either ahead or behind the semi?
No.
No. And you mentioned that you have these 2 antenna, one in the front of the vehicle, one in the back for your stalker unit. You mentioned that you were using the front antenna at the time of the stop. Was it set to vehicles moving in the same direction or in the opposite direction?
Opposite.
And you're required to do a tuning fork test at the beginning of your shift and at the end of your shift. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
And do you recall whether you did those on January 18th?
I didn't write specifically if I did. I generally try to. There's some days I don't get to doing that if we're busy, but I try to. I didn't document whether I did or not. That's not something I document or have to keep track of every day.
Gotcha. But it is recommended that those tuning fork tests are done at the beginning and at the end of the shift for to make sure the equipment is functioning properly, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, the equipment is also required every 2 years to be basically calibrated by some technician to make sure it's properly calibrated. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And when was the last time your equipment was last calibrated?
I don't know. I don't keep track of that equipment. That would be up to my command staff, keeping records of that.
So, and you say you've been with the Kingman County Department since November of 21. Do you use the same equipment every day, or do you change equipment between vehicles?
If I'm put into a different vehicle, then I'll use the equipment that's in that vehicle. But the vehicle I was using that day is the vehicle that's assigned to me.
All right. But you're not sure from at least November of 21, when you started with Kingman to today, do you know if it's ever been calibrated?
Since that time, it has been. Prior to the day of that stop, I couldn't tell you when it was calibrated before that. But it has been calibrated since then.
All right. And there's a room for error of about 2 miles an hour when you have a moving vehicle and 1 mile an hour when you have a stationary radar. Isn't that correct with the equipment?
I know there's a room for error depending on the angle from the radar antenna to the target vehicle. I'm aware of
Which
that.
can be plus or -2 if your vehicle is in motion, or plus or minus 1 mile an hour if your vehicle is stationary. Does that sound about right?
It sounds right.
Okay.
But we're not talking about plus or minus 2 miles per hour. We're talking about 20 miles per hour. That's a little bit of a gap.
And you noticed that there were other vehicles that were on the road. Let me ask you this. How long did you have between the time that you noticed the semi truck, and the time that you initiated the stop? About how much time passed?
I honestly couldn't tell you an exact time. When I saw the vehicle overtaking the other vehicles, that's what indicated me that he was traveling at a high rate of speed. And then that's whenever I activated the front radar antenna, saw the speed, locked the speed, waited till he had passed and the other vehicles had passed before I could safely conduct a U-turn to then initiate the traffic stop.
Now, when you say that he was passing these other vehicles, were they still within the same vicinity of them when you made your turnaround, or had he blown past them so far that they were nowhere to be seen?
They were behind him. I still had to wait a couple seconds for them to pass for me to conduct my U-turn safely.
But it's safe to say he wasn't moving at such a rate of speed that he was passing them and he was miles ahead of them on the road by the time you stopped him.
Not miles.
Okay.
Semi-lengths, definitely.
Semi-length? Okay. I'm just trying to gauge whether or not he was keeping up with the flow of traffic. Would you say that was a fair statement?
No, he was way ahead of the traffic whenever I saw him overtake the other vehicles. There were no other vehicles for him to keep up with.
Okay. And was Mr. Securi cooperative with you when you initiated the stop?
Yes, he was.
I have no further questions for this witness, Judge.
All right, thank you. Mr. Richard, do you have any redirect based on that?
Your Honor, I don't. I would, if everybody's okay with it. Deputy Carroll's the only deputy that's out currently, and they have an accident he'd probably like to rush off to. So if everybody's okay with releasing him, I would appreciate that.
The defense has no problem with releasing this witness.
All right, thank you, Deputy Carroll. Thank you for your testimony, and you are released.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Mr. Ritchie, do you have any further evidence?
I have no additional evidence to present today.
Thank you. Mr. Kenny, do you have any evidence that the defense wishes to present?
Yes, Judge. I would like to call Mr. Security to testify.
All right. Mr. Security, would you raise your right hand? And do you swear or affirm that let's see, got him.
Mr. Security, can you hear the judge all right?
Mr. Security, can you hear me? Can he? I guess we should have asked if he was connected to audio. Mr. Segari, can you hear us?
Judge, I just sent him a message.
I did. I saw that.
Okay. He says he cannot hear. He made a.
Yeah, that's what I took from that as well.
Okay. Can you hear us now, Mr. Security?
And yes, can you unmute?
And Judge, I may have caused the problem. I told him to be sure and mute when he got into the meeting.
Yes.
you hear
Yes, now I can hear. Yeah,
Okay.
before I couldn't hear anything.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Security, you've been called to testify by your attorney. Would you raise your right hand? And do you swear from the testimony you give this court will be the truth?
I swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I hate to. I'm sorry. I hate to interrupt. I just want to make sure. Defendant says he couldn't hear anything before, which I assume means he could not hear the presentation of evidence with the deputy.
That was the next question I was going to ask.
Okay.
So, Mr. Kinney, how would you like to handle this?
May I inquire from my witness very quickly regarding the testimony issue and his ability to hear it and whether he's willing to waive being able to hear or confront the witness?
Yes, please.
Yes,
Mr.
yes.
Security, let me ask you, the officer testified and we were not aware that you could not hear at that time. I was able to hear him and ask him questions, and he was able to answer those questions to my satisfaction. Are you comfortable moving forward with the trial without having heard his testimony?
Yes, because I trust you and I trust Mr. the judge too. His honor, I trust him.
Okay, very good. Judge, my client would waive the right to contest or confront the witness and like to proceed.
Okay, thank you. And also, Mr. Kinney, you have informed your client that this is a bench trial, and he did have the right to have a jury trial. He understands all that?
He does, Your Honor. He has requested a bench trial, and he's also requested that it be done via Zoom, and appreciates the court's indulgence in that.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Kinney, you may, and the witness has been sworn in, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Security, if you would state your full name and spell your last name for the record. Uh-oh.
He's gone.
Uh-oh.
I love Zoom. I'm just going to keep saying that.
It is convenient when it works.
I'm going to try and call him real quick just to.
Okay.
Hello. Did you lose? Did you get knocked out of there?
Yes, someone called me and then I disconnected.
Log back in.
Do ID and
Yes.
let me
Log back in and
Alright,
we'll
thank you.
proceed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, he said a phone call came in and it disconnected him from the hearing, but he's logging in now. I had a rather annoying thing with my phone. It would, every time I would do one of these on my phone, it would, I have Audible on there so I can listen to books while I'm driving. And every time a a phone call would hang up, it would automatically start the book again, and it would
Uh-huh.
interfere with the hearing. So
I was having that same issue, and I had to be really careful about which book I was, reading. If you're listening to, Can't Hurt Me,
Yeah.
and the language is rough, and you go, oh crap.
That's right. That's right. All right,
Okay.
Mr. Security, go ahead and unmute again, if you would, please. Judge, may I
Okay.
proceed?
You may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Security, if you would state your full name and spell your last name for the record.
Abdelmonem Sakiri, and it's Sakhirii.
All right. And sir, how are you employed?
I work as a truck driver
All right. And how long have you been a truck driver?
for a little bit over 3 years.
All right. And you, as part of that process, are required to have a commercial driver's license. Is that right?
Yes.
And tell me a little bit about, did you have to go through some training and testing in order to obtain that CDL license?
Yes, I went to school and then I've been trained to operate a truck.
Okay. All right. And what kind of safety training do you have to go through to become a truck driver? Do you recall?
A lot of trainings, like on the road, videos, like seminars.
And part of that is also involving spotting road signs, things like that.
Yes, yes.
All right. And let me ask this: you've got 3 years of experience doing some truck driving. Have you ever been to Kingman, Kansas before January 18th of 2022?
No, the first time I was on that road.
Okay. And so were you, how did you find the signage? Was it, did it give you instruction about speed limits and truck routes and things like that? Were you able to identify all that?
I didn't see any speed limits. And anyway, I was in the city, so I should drive, within the speed limit. Usually
Right.
it's 40, like 35.
And so the day that you were going through Kingman on January 18th, do you recall what the road conditions were like that day?
It was normal.
Normal. No snow, no bad weather.
No bad weather, no snow.
Okay. And were there other cars on the road with you?
Yes, I was actually driving with the flow of the
Alright.
cars.
Gotcha. So you saw other vehicles on the road driving in the same direction as you that day.
Yes, I was behind a few cars.
And talk to me about the equipment. What type of a truck and trailer were you driving that day?
I had a new Freightliner, and they have a 53-foot trailer.
All right. And how old a vehicle was the Freightliner?
It was 2021.
Okay. And how long had you been driving this particular vehicle?
Maybe like at that time, like three months I've been driving that vehicle.
Okay. What did you have cruise control on that truck?
I do have cruise control, yeah.
Were you using it at that particular time when you got stopped?
No.
All right. What about the tires on your vehicle? Were they
Brand new tires?
brand new tires?
Yeah.
And so you'd had this truck for 3 months, and the tires were brand new before you got it, or after you got it?
No, after I got it, because it has like the mileage where I should renew the tires were that it was at that point. So we just put new tires.
Okay. And had anybody done a road test on those tires to make sure that the equipment was calibrated properly to those tires that you're aware of?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Now, the testimony of Officer Carroll or Deputy Carroll was that he clocked you speeding. Do you believe that you were speeding the day that he stopped you?
Not not like what he said. Maybe I was like 5 miles above the speed limit because I was following other cars and other vehicles. I was not the only one traveling on that road. So
Okay.
I like maybe everybody's speeding. I don't think so.
All right.
Maybe a little bit
So-
over.
So you believe that you were going over the speed limit, but you don't believe you were going at the rate that he's claiming?
No, maybe 5, maybe because the
Okay.
truck that can't go that fast. It takes time for a truck to pick up speed and everything.
So when you say picking up speed, you were just getting into town, right? I mean, you were coming off you were on 54 highway coming into the town. Is that right?
Coming into town, yeah.
What were you pulling? What were you hauling that day?
Actually, that day I was empty.
Okay.
I was
And you
empty.
were
I was
going
going
to
to pick up.
You were going
Yeah.
to pick up. Okay. And so were you able, talk to me how long it takes to slow down a truck and how long it takes you to speed it up?
It takes time. It takes like maybe like 5 miles to pick up speed, and to slow down. You can slow down. Using
Faster.
the brake or the Jake brake. Yes, faster
Oh.
than speeding. Yeah.
All right. And so as you were coming into town, you talk to me about what you were thinking. Were you thinking about speeding up or slowing down as you were entering town?
When I enter town, I am always slowing down automatically.
All right. And were other cars passing you or were you passing cars?
No, I was not passing any cars. I was actually behind the cars, and then I was driving on the left because I always like in towns, I
Mhm.
leave the right lane empty. This way people can come in and leave comfortably.
Okay.
Always.
All right. And I just want to ask you again about your speed. How sure are you on a scale of 1 to 10 about how fast you were going? 10 being very sure, 1 being not sure at all.
Oh, 9.5.
Okay. So you admit you were speeding, but you believe you were only going about 5 over the speed limit?
Maybe because I've been driving for over 3 years. I never had any issues.
You don't sound 9.5 confident, sir.
Never got any tickets. Because my license, I try to keep it clean. And also I care for the safety of people on the road because that's a semi truck. It's not a car.
Right. All right. I have no further questions for the witness.
All right, thank you. Mr. Richa, any cross-examination?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Zakari, I'm just trying to get some clarification. You had mentioned at some point about the vehicle not being able to go, or you said, you said the vehicle can't go that fast. Was that just kind of a mistake with words, or what did you mean by that?
Because it's a heavy vehicle. It doesn't pick up speed quickly.
Okay. So where were you coming from when you entered the city of Kingman then?
I don't remember. I was coming from, I think I was in Kansas City or somewhere, and then coming through there. I don't
So you
remember exactly go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm sorry for the interruption. So you didn't stop and have to restart your vehicle moving again near the city of Kingman. Is that correct?
No, I was driving, passing through.
Okay. And you weren't picking up speed as you were entering the city of Kingman, correct?
No, I was slowing down. It's normal when I'm approaching the city, I have to slow down.
Or do you remember the terrain when entering the city of Kingman from that direction? Is it downhill, uphill? Is it flat?
I think you come in and then there is a downhill or something. I think, because I think the Kingman, you go down, yeah.
Okay. So if I were to tell you that upon entering Kingman 54 Highway that it is uphill and then flat, you would disagree with me on that?
Uphill and flat.
That you have to go up a hill to enter into Kingman from 54 Highway from that side. Would you disagree with me on that?
Counsel testifying.
Say again?
Goodness. I'm asking him if he knows, or not. I don't know that I'm particularly testifying, but
Well, it's it is cross-examination. You're allowed to ask a leading question. I hear it as more of a you're asking him if he agrees with you on that and if he knows, and I'll allow that question.
and I'll try to simplify so that I don't create any more confusion. Mrs. Sakari, would you agree with me that you have to go uphill when entering into Kingman from that direction on that road?
I'm not sure. It has been a while. I mean, and I've been through that road only one time. I really,
Sure.
and, you know, I drive everywhere. I can't remember every
Okay.
road.
Does it make it easier for you to slow down your vehicle when going uphill?
When going uphill?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And you testified that you could not, you didn't believe you passed anybody when you were entering into the city limits of Kingman. Is that correct?
I don't remember passing anyone.
Okay. Now,
And unless if I'm away from someone, or to lead them, I don't know, take a right turn, maybe I will switch lane.
is it possible that you just didn't see a particular vehicle that you passed at that time?
What happened?
Is it possible that you were passing a vehicle at that time and just couldn't see them?
I mean, if I pass someone, I have to see them.
Okay. So the testimony from the deputy was that he pulled you over quite a ways from when the initial incident happened. Do you remember your conversation with him about that?
Yes, he told me.
Okay.
He told me that he was hiding somewhere, and then I passed by, and then he followed me. He was telling me.
He told you that he was hiding?
He told me, oh, you didn't see me, I was on the side. Yeah.
And did you tell him that you couldn't see him and that's why you didn't stop right away?
No, I didn't tell him anything. I told him that I was not speeding.
Okay. So you believe that the deputy's testimony is false?
Objection, argumentative.
Well, it's argumentative, but
Mr. Richa?
Your Honor, I'm just asking. I mean, he's giving testimony that's contradictory in every nature to the deputy's testimony. So,
and Judge, I point out my client didn't hear the deputy's testimony, so he's not
fair.
arguing. He didn't hear him,
and that's fair, and that's a problem. And I will apologize. I didn't remember, quite frankly, that I was just testifying. That's true. He would not have heard him. So I will get off that line of questioning and chalk that up to the unfortunate events that the defendant was not listening at that time. I have no further questions at this point, Your Honor.
It shouldn't matter whether he heard the deputy's testimony or not. Truth is truth. If everything that he's saying is contradicting the deputy's testimony, someone's lying.
Okay, Mr. Kinney, do you have any redirect?
Just a real quick one, Judge. Mr. Security, there's been some question about whether you passed anybody or not. I think from what I heard you say, it sounded like you thought maybe you might have passed stationary objects. If there was a car that was stopped to make a turn or pulling into something, you think?
Yes, yes, yeah. Because if they slow down and they're gonna take a right or they're coming in, I will definitely move over to the other lane. So
As
to
far as
create some
another,
ease.
let me clarify then, as far as another car that was traveling in the same direction as you, did you pass any cars that were traveling in the same direction that didn't stop to make a turn that you recall?
I don't remember.
All right. No further questions, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Rich, any cross-examination based on that?
Not based on that, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. May this witness be excused?
It may from the defense, Judge.
I have no further questions of this witness.
Okay. Thank you, Thank you for your testimony, Mr. Sakari. Mr. Kinney, do you have any other evidence you'd like to present?
I have no other evidence, Judge, but I would like to make argument.
Yeah, okay, we will. Mr. Richa, do you have argument?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed.
Thank you. The basic testimony today from the deputy included the date of the citation, that the citation was within Kingman County. The defendant in this matter was identified as being the driver of the vehicle. Ultimately, the testimony was that the defendant was going 60 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour speed zone. This was ultimately the number was come up with because of the radar indication. The deputy talked about his experience in training with the radar system, how he regularly does things and tests to make sure that is accurate, that there's quite a bit of different things he testified to today that would cause us to believe the accuracy of that radar system, including the multiple attempts or multiple self-checking per day, that it has been certified within the last 2 years, and that he does regularly do tuning fork testing of that radar system. Deputy described an entirely different situation, I believe, than what the defendant did. The defendant testified that the deputy was hiding somewhere and that the deputy told him that. The deputy testified that he was in fact going in the opposite lane of direction. There was nothing in between them. There were no weather conditions that could have affected the radar system, and that his vehicle was brought to his attention because it was moving past other vehicles, that he could see that visually. And that gave him a clue that he was going faster than the flow of traffic and faster than the speed limit. There was a discussion about slowing down or going faster as we come into the city of Kingman. Your Honor knows that road, I'm sure, knows the hill that comes in to the city of Kingman where that changes directions. It would seem implausible that you'd be speeding up as you go up that hill, especially in a 18-wheeler of that type. Your Honor, I just think the totality of the circumstances. Oh, and finally as well, we talked about not being able to see or if we could see other vehicles passing, but the deputy's testimony was that there was a significant period of time from engaging his lights and following the defendant, and when he actually pulled over, and that the defendant's explanation was that he couldn't see him. So maybe the defendant just couldn't see the vehicle because he was passing. But I think the totality of the evidence certainly supports guilt beyond a reasonable doubt for 60 and a 40-mile-per-hour zone. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kinney.
Judge, thank you. Well, I don't recall the testimony of Deputy Carroll being quite the same with regard to the radar and the calibration and the tuning fork. He mentioned that he'd been on the staff of the Kingman County Deputy or Sheriff's Department since November of 21, and that his radar equipment had not been calibrated from November of 21 through January 18th of 22, and that it had been calibrated after the stop, but not prior to the stop, and that he had no knowledge of when the last calibration had been done on his equipment as of January 18th, 2022. Furthermore, he also noted that he did not make a note on his citation or in his notes about whether or not he did a tuning fork that day. Although he did acknowledge that standard protocol requires, to ensure that the equipment is properly working, that you do a tuning fork test at the beginning and at the end of your shift, and that even under the best conditions, when you've properly calibrated, you've done the tuning forks as required, that there could still be a discrepancy of up to 2 miles an hour either direction on the speed based on a moving patrol vehicle. So I think, Judge, that I don't question that Deputy Carroll has training and experience. He's been through the process, but if you have training and experience, but your equipment is not up to snuff, it doesn't matter if you're the best officer in the whole state of Kansas. If your equipment's not working properly and you can't prove that it's working properly, you may just have bad equipment. And we don't know whether or not his equipment was good or bad. In fact, we believe it's the state's burden to show that it was properly calibrated and that it was properly in working order. And we believe that the state has failed to do that. Furthermore, there has been testimony, Judge, that there's been a little discrepancy over the facts of how many vehicles were on the road, things of that nature. I think that there is some question, at least as far as how many vehicles were on the road and what might or might not have been picked up with an improperly calibrated radar system, which vehicle was moving at 60 miles an hour, if in fact anybody was moving at 60 miles an hour. Furthermore, the officer testified that when he did pull over Mr. Securi, that he was about a semi-truck length ahead of the next closest vehicle when initiating that stop. So if everyone was moving at a high rate of speed through town, then that would be the case. You'd have chase vehicles that are close by within a truck's length. If he's moving at 20 miles faster than everybody else, the facts are that he's just not going to be within a truck length of his other vehicles on the road that he's sharing the road with. Furthermore, my client has testified about his training and experience, that he's been through safety training. He's got training on how to properly operate and use his equipment. And he further testified that within 3 months of the stop, he had put new tires on his vehicle. And so we would argue that, first, we would argue that the state has not met its burden as far as the equipment to prove what the speed was. The second argument that we would make is that my client admits that he believes he was speeding, but he believes he was speeding at 5 miles an hour over, which is in keeping with being within a herd of cars and only a car length away, a semi vehicle length away when the stop is initiated. And finally, that if he was going faster than 5 miles an hour over, it would be more due to defective equipment than it would be to actually speeding. And that being that the truck tires that were put on there were recently put on within 3 months. It's not uncommon that if they're not properly calibrated, that they can play with the speed where you think you're going a certain speed and you're actually moving at a different rate of speed based on the size and shape of the tires as well as your calibration. So
If you had any chance of having won that for your client, you just lost it with that argument right there. Because defective equipment is not a right to violate the law. And the onus is on the driver to make sure that all of their equipment is working properly. So that's a terrible argument, Mr. Lawyer.
So those are our three arguments, Judge, as to why the defendant should not be found guilty of speeding more than 15 miles an hour over. But Judge, we would ask that he be found guilty of the lesser included offense of speeding up to 14 miles an hour over the speeding limit.
All right, Mr. Rich, any rebuttal?
Yes, thank you on a few points there, Your Honor. I guess I need to provide clarification. The deputy's testimony is that since he has been with the sheriff's department, we're talking approximately around 2 years, that has been calibrated, which is indicative of regular maintenance, regular calibration on there. That's what I meant when I was giving my closing, initial thought on the closing. And once again, I think that that Mr. Kenny and I disagree again on what the testimony was from the deputy. In fact, he talked about a semi-truck's length, but what I understood is that when he actually indicated his radar, that he was a semi-truck length in front of everybody, not at the time of the actual stopping and pulling over, which occurred further down the road. I'm not aware of any mental culpability state that needs to be included. And so I'm not sure that the argument about having defective equipment is necessarily helpful in this particular situation. I also think the calibration has been discussed. There's been numerous things that have been done. I'm not sure that everything has to be exactly perfect for reliability to be found the case. And ultimately, Your Honor, I think you're just going to have to weigh the credibility of the two witnesses. They've given very different stories on a lot of the things that have occurred. And I think you're just going to have to make that determination on who is more credible, whose side of the story is more credible in this particular situation, and have that factor into your ruling. And ultimately, I think the state has more than met its burden.
Okay, thank you. So, Mr. Sakari was cited for going 60 miles an hour in a 40-mile-an-hour zone, traveling west on US 54 and entering the city of Kingman from the outlying county, where the speed limit does change from 65 to 40. The deputy said that he was traveling on the inside lane, and that Mr. Sakari's truck was traveling on the inside lane. So there wasn't any obstacle between them, and that he activated his radar and he clocked him at 60 miles per hour in that 40-mile-an-hour zone. As far as the equipment goes, he says that he regularly does a tuning fork test several times during the course of his shift. And while he did not know if it had been when it had been calibrated prior to the 18th of January in 2022, that it does get regular maintenance. Has been calibrated since. He started in November of 2021. This happened in January of 2022, which is a course of a couple of months. And there really is nothing to say that equipment was defective at that time. Now, Mr. Sakari has testified on his training and how he drives a truck, and I am sure that he is that he operates the truck as he's supposed to. But I mean, you know, we can all go over the speed limit from time to time, and this isn't a this isn't a judgment on Mr. Sakari's driving ability the rest of the time, but I do find that the state has met its burden, because, and just to go back, this is not just testimony about somebody's memory. We do have him being clocked at radar at going 20 miles an hour over the speed limit. So I'm going to find that the state has met its burden, and I'm going to find Mr. Securi guilty of speeding going 60 in a 40-mile-an-hour zone. Can we proceed to sentencing today, Mr. Kinney, or is that something?
Yes, Your Honor. And I think my client wanted to address the court. He had a statement he wanted to make to the court prior to sentencing, if that's all right.
That's fine. Mr. Richa, what would be your recommendation?
Your Honor, I won't have much to say as far as sentencing because there's it's a statutory fine. So I'm not going to recommend anything beyond the statutory fine. So if the defendant has statements he wants to make, that's perfectly fine with me, just to go ahead and have him make those statements, and then you can sentence accordingly.
All right, it's at I'm looking, is that $45?
It would be more than that. But
I think on the citation, it said 213 total, which was 108 in court costs. And I don't know what the difference would be on that. I think 105 maybe. Fine.
Okay, 105.
yeah, there it is. Sorry, my sheet doesn't go down to the 40-mile-an-hour speed. So.
For a total of 213.
That's what the back of the ticket said, Your Honor.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you. I was just trying to look at the chart really quickly and I misread it. So thanks for your clarification.
Sure.
And okay. And so Mr. Kinney, Mr. Securi would like to address the court.
Yes, Your Honor, please. Mr. Securi, go ahead.
Mr. Securi, you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor, please. Everyone sometimes make mistakes, and I have a family and I just got a job, and I think this ticket will affect, I might lose my job.
Oh, so now you're basically admitting to lying. Cool, bro.
So I always try to do the best I can, and I know I am not perfect. So please, I mean, I can pay the fine, but I don't want, I want like something else, not speeding ticket, maybe defective equipment, or it's up to you. And I know you have the power to make it happen. And I promise you it's going to be the first and last one. Please.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Kinney, do you have anything else that you'd like me to address?
Judge, I would I think that barring you revisiting the finding of guilt, there's not much more that I would have to say about that, Judge. But I appreciate the opportunity.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is, I mean, this is pretty cut and dry. I mean, the fine and court costs are set by statute, and I don't have much. I don't have much discretion in this because they are set by statute. So I'm going to go ahead and impose the statutory fine and court costs for a total of $213. How long do you think, Mr. Kinney, how long do you think Mr. Securi needs to pay this?
Judge, we'd request a 30-day window to get that paid.
Okay. Actually, I'm going to, I usually go out on a pay or appear 60 days. And so I'm going to set Mr. Securi for a pay or appear on December 13th at 8:30 in the morning.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Mr. Scary, if you get your fines and costs paid before then, you don't have to come back to court. And you can, and if anything happens and you don't get this paid, you can appear via Zoom for that. Just use the same that you used today. You use the same information you used today, and we can also, Mr. Kenny can also give you the information about how to pay that online.
Very good, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Is there anything further we need to take up today?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. As a normal course, I'll send a journal entry to Mr. Canny for his approval.
Okay, and of course, thank you to both counsel for your work today, and Mr. Scary, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
So I'm gonna have the. So I'm gonna have.
I'll talk with you, Mr. Security. I'll give you a call here and we'll discuss. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Mr. McAlpine.
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
Good morning, sir. Ready on Langston?
Yeah, is it possible to place me in a breakout room with her?
I don't see Miss Langston.
She's not on the call. Okay. 1 minute, Judge. Let me check something here.
She's in custody. Wayne County Jail, do you have a Miss Langston for me?
My partner is getting her right this moment, Your Honor.
Okay, great, thank you.
Ms. Langston?
Okay, great. We're ready on Langston.
Calling case number 230600800, people of State Michigan versus Carl Langston. Defendant charged with count 1, police officer assaulting, resisting, and obstructing. Count 2, domestic violence.
Appearances for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Shelley Drain for the PP number 60249.
Good morning, Judge. Warren McAlpine appearing on behalf of Carla Langston. She's appearing via Zoom. We consent to the Zoom hearing. My P number is 52522.
Ms. Langston, tell us your name for the record.
Langston?
What's your pleasure, Mr. McAlpine?
Judge, if possible, can I speak with Ms. Langston for a few minutes in the breakout room?
Okay, hang on. You're in the breakout room.
Thank you.
Okay, are you ready, Mr. McAlpine?
We're ready, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, we are back on the record on People versus Carla Langston. What's your pleasure, sir?
Judge, after speaking with Ms. Langston, I explained to her her right to a preliminary exam, the purpose of the exam, the probable cause standard, and she has indicated that she wants to waive that exam, and she's doing so voluntarily and willingly. Is that correct, Ms. Langston? She's having some problem with her audio, Judge.
Ms. Langston, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Do you understand you have a statutory right to have a preliminary examination? By waiving the same, that means you won't have one and you'll be bound over to Wayne County 3rd Circuit Court as you stand charged with a complaint warrant. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand the nature and the purpose of a preliminary examination?
Kind of.
All right, if you were to have one, the prosecution would have to establish that the crime you're charged with was committed in the city of Detroit, that there's probable cause, not proof beyond a reasonable doubt, but probable cause to believe you committed it. They would do so by calling witnesses to come forward and testify as to what actually took place or allegedly took place. Your attorney would have an opportunity to cross-examine those witnesses. At the end of the day, if I feel that the people have met their burden of probable cause, I would bind the matter over to 3rd Circuit Court, where you would be arraigned on the information, which means you're told what you're formally being charged with. From that point on, you and your attorney would either discuss any plea negotiations that may be available to you at that time or schedule for trial. By waiving your preliminary examination, we skipped that part about witnesses coming forth to testify. You'll be bound over to Third Circuit Court, arraigned on the information, which again means told what you're formally charged with, and you and Mr. McAlpine will discuss any plea negotiations that are available to you or scheduled for trial. Do you understand now?
I can't really hear. I hear the officers outside. I don't hear you.
You need me to say that all over again, right?
Well, I heard most of it, but some of it I did not hear. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna try one more time. You're entitled to have a preliminary examination. If you were to have one, the prosecution would have to establish that the crimes you're charged with were committed in the city of Detroit and that there's probable cause, not proof beyond a reasonable doubt, but probable cause to believe you committed them. They would do so by calling witnesses to testify as to what allegedly took place. Your attorney would have an opportunity to cross-examine those witnesses. At the end of the day, if I'm satisfied that people have met their burden of probable cause, then I will bind it over to Wayne County Third Circuit Court, where you'll be arraigned on the information, which means you're told what you're formally charged with. From that point on, you and Mr. McAlpine will either discuss any plea negotiations that are available to you at that time or scheduled for trial. By waiving your preliminary examination, we're going to skip that part about witnesses coming forth to testify. I will bind you over to Third Circuit Court, where you'll be arraigned on the information, and then you will either schedule for trial or discuss any plea negotiations. Do you understand now?
Yes, I understand.
Is it still your wish to waive your preliminary examination?
No, I would like to hold it, please.
Okay. Okay, she wants to hold, Mr. McAlpine.
I guess, well, we had discussed it. She said she wanted to waive, but we can hold it.
The attorney's face was priceless. He was like, oh, man.
All right. Court will continue the plea of not guilty. We'll set this matter for preliminary examination on how's December 8th at 10:45.
December 8th. December 8th at 10:45, Judge?
Yes, sir.
That's fine.
All right, December 8th at 10:45, bond will be continued.
Judge, may we address bond briefly?
Okay.
Miss Langston's bond is currently $100,000, personal with a GPS tether. The reason she's still in jail is she doesn't have anywhere she can tether. She can't go back home because of the domestic violence component to this case. She does have somewhere to go, but she can't tether there. I'd ask the court to consider just removing the tether and releasing her on the $100,000 personal bond.
Where can she go that she can't be tethered?
Where would you go, Miss?
It would be a shelter, but the shelter, they kick you out of that, so it would be kind of hard to GPS tether to a shelter. Because sometimes they kick you out, you have to find another shelter, and so it's not that easy.
They only kick you out if you're being unruly and not following their rules. You don't just get kicked out for the funsies. That right there tells me a lot about this defendant.
You have no other family you can go to, ma'am? I can't hear you.
No, I'm from Texas. I have no one. I don't have anybody.
Did you understand I didn't? She said no something.
Judge, she's from Texas and doesn't have any family members here, except for a significant other, and I believe he's the complaining witness in the domestic violence case.
My concern is because she has nowhere to go. My concern is her trying to go back to him.
I see. I understand.
Give me 1 second. Ms. Langston, what shelter were you gonna go to?
I'd have to find one. They told me, my cellmates have told me about a few that I could call, that they would help me. I've heard of Naomi's Nest, and a couple others they told me about.
Okay, so I wasn't aware of that. Allegation is that she assaulted an officer as well.
That's correct, Judge. That's correct, Judge.
So it's sort of a tricky position to make out in that she has outside ties to the state of Michigan. You said to Texas.
Yes.
There's no place really to go but with the complaining witness. Although the assault with the complaining witness sounds somewhat minor. The crux of this case is the assault, alleged assault on the police officer and the injury that she caused the officer. How'd you get that black eye? What happened to your eye, Ms. Langston?
And the head.
I'm sorry?
I was punched in the side of the head.
By who?
A police officer.
Okay. So officer got his leg back, it looks like.
Anyone else want to see that body cam footage? I know I do.
Are you employed anywhere? I can't hear you. Say it again.
Judge, she's a stay-at-home mom. She has three
How many
children. She has
Three
three.
children?
Yes.
How old are the children?
She has twins that are 4 months, and she has a 2-year-old boy.
Ms. Drain, how likely is the complaining witness to show up for this?
Your Honor, I'm not sure about the complaining witness. And I have looked at the allegations for that specific charge. However, I do think that it's very likely that the officers are going to show.
Okay. But I'm wondering if the complaining witness is not interested in coming forth, if I could have her tether to that home.
The notes that I see is that are that he was contacted prior to signing the warrant, and he did state what happened. So there's no note in here stating that he did not go forward or he's not going to appear for court.
Would you mind?
May I speak?
Hold on a second. Would you mind checking in to see if the complaining witness is still interested in pursuing this, and if not, would the complaining witness mind if the defendant was to come home?
Okay, I can try to contact him right now, Your Honor, if you'd like.
Yes.
You can give me a moment.
Okay.
Your Honor, I did just speak with Mr. Trejo, the complaining witness. He does not want her to come home because of the assault.
Okay. All right, Mr. McAlpine, I'm going to continue the bond for right now. We
All
can
right,
reach again after the preliminary examination. So bond will be continued.
All right, thank you, Judge. Everyone have a great weekend.
Thank you.
I'll be in touch, Ms. Langston.
So they did not remove the code?
That's the last one. Yeah.
All right, I'll do Mr. McAlpine first. Mr. McAlpine. Yes. Ready on Wednesday? We're ready. Langston.
Stand right next to your attorney.
Calling case 2360080, people of the state of Michigan versus Carla Langston. defendant is charged in count 1, assault and resisting obstructing police officer, count 2, domestic violence. Appearances for the record.
Jessica Davidoff for the people, PA 6743.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Councilman. On behalf of Charlotte Langston, present standing to my left, number 5252.
What an easy peanut.
Yeah, it's good. I can remember it.
Tell me your name, young lady.
Carla Livingston.
Today's the date and time set for preliminary examination. Are you ready to proceed?
Your Honor, the people are not ready to receive, the complaining witnesses and the other witnesses are not present and they're not able to speak about it.
Judge, in light of that fact, I would ask the court to dismiss this matter without question.
Dismiss this matter without questions.
Thank you,
Dismiss
Judge.
the order.
Thank you, Judge. All right.
She looks mighty confused. And it's over just like that. The complaining witness didn't show up. State can't proceed. Case dismissed. Can be refiled though. And considering the officers had a tussle with her, I'm thinking at least those charges will be refiled. But I don't know. All right, guys. That was fun. Yeah. Well, that's the system. All right. I have a date with the mediator tomorrow morning for the small claims against homosexual. So I'm sorry. I got to get ready for court. And it's court for me. And I guess the mediation, so it's court ordered mediation. The mediator wants to talk to me for about 10 minutes before the proceeding. I've never heard of that, but okay, I'm game. And then the actual mediation is being held over Zoom. So no, not well, especially not the mediation. Those are never sneaking a GoPro. I'll screen record everything. Yeah, that was a good move on her part. I might have to wait until the case is completely over. You know, they give all those warnings about not recording and I don't you don't shit where you sleep, guys. I'm a little scared to do it with my own state and with my own case. Well, he's got a job now, so I can garnish his wages. So, I don't know. He had a job when he left here. He was supposed to pay me back out of his second paycheck. That was the agreement. But then when I kicked him out, he's like, well, you're never getting your money because now I have to use that money to find somewhere else to live. The logic doesn't make any sense. Because he lived here completely free. Completely free. And that money wasn't even rent money. The money that I'm taking him to court for was only the money that we had a very specific agreement about him paying me back. It was his extras. It was his cologne and body wash and his like he had expensive cologne tastes, and he would borrow money from me for, you know, being able to go get his drinks to go play basketball with his buddies, and borrow money for his gaming system, and, you know, just all of that stuff. So, like, I never recorded, like, when I bought him dinner, lunch, breakfast, any of them, because we didn't have an agreement on that. But when we had an agreement about it going in the ledger to be paid back, because I was not paying for all of his extras. I already paid for all of his housing, electricity, water, and oh my gosh, my water bill more than doubled when he came here. Because he takes Hollywood showers. Like he will start the shower and then walk around the house collecting his clothes and his razor and whatever else he needs for it, and then go in the bathroom and do whatever he does, and then get in the shower. He would leave it running sometimes for 10 or 15 minutes before ever stepping foot in it. It literally gets up to temp in 30 seconds or less. I don't know why he felt he had to do that. It drove me nuts. And toilet paper? Oh my gosh, he would go through 2 rolls a day by himself. He's absolutely the most expensive person that I've ever hosted. And never again. Unfortunately, I'll never get all of it back. But I'm taking him to court for what was specifically borrowed. The $845 is the end total of it. And I've got the ledger with dates, amounts borrowed, and the dates and amounts paid back. You know, because he did pay some of it back, to his credit. But oh yeah, he was very, 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 very obsessive about. He was a total germaphobe, complete total germaphobe. But whatever. So one of his favorites was Coco something. Maybe it was just Coco. He loved Clean was the name of one of them. And then, hold on, give me 2. Coco Shimmy was the name of the other one. So Coco Shimmy and Clean were his 2 favorites. And then he had this one from Bath and Body Works that was like a coffee scented something or other. And he liked to mix smells. So he would use his Clean, and then he would use the Eau de perfume, whatever, parfum over it. Yeah. No, but he also would go to, oh, what's that called? In the mall? There's this place in the mall. Okay. I don't know anything about it. There's this place in the mall, and you can get like Gucci and Prada and all those other super expensive brands, and you get them like cheaper. They're supposedly still the actual big name brands, but like they're overstock, or I don't know, maybe they've been sitting on the shelf too long. I don't know. But he would go there and spend like $400 or $500 a pop just on like 4 bottles of cologne. It was crazy. We don't. He would go to the Dells. He would use my vehicle to go to the Dells. My gas, my insurance, my vehicle. Yeah, I have really bad asthma, and I did not realize that I was allergic to his smells. I didn't know it until the first time that I was hospitalized. And even then, they didn't know what I was allergic to. I didn't know what I was allergic to. They just knew that when my respiratory system shut down, it was due to allergies. Well, then we had the big falling out the first time, and he left and went back to live in Milwaukee. And my breathing improved so much. It was insane. Like my allergies went away, and then he moved back, and I ended up hospitalized again. I honestly thought that I was allergic to him. Oh no, it was all the dang colognes he was wearing. I didn't know that that was an actual thing. You can be allergic to your partner. I didn't know that. I asked my doctor that. I'm like, is it possible to be allergic to a man? And she's like, yeah. Oh. Well, specifically his semen, but that too, maybe? I don't know. Should have been the first clue. But all right, I gotta get up early and do the lawyery thingy, so. Only you would have that question. I love you all so much. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me, and I will hopefully see you again tomorrow. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.